Hello everyone, in this video and a few upcoming videos, we will solve some example problems to solidify our understanding of how binary search works. In the previous video, we have discussed both linear search and binary search in detail, so if you have missed that video, I will recommend you watch that too. This is the example we will solve in this video, given an array of length 5 in this case and a target element say 11. The algorithm should return the index corresponding to our target value in the array, if it exists. If it does not exist, the algorithm should return none. And here we see that the array or list contains integers, but it could be float or string. A quick recap: binary search requires a sorted collection, which is true in this case. And if you recall from the previous video, binary search eliminates half of the remaining elements at each step, making it exponentially faster than linear search for large data sets. So this is again a visual description of how binary search works. So this is our array and we want to search the index corresponding to number 50. First, we will divide the array into two intervals and using the left and the right bounds, and we determine the midpoint index, and then we see where our number lies in which half. Once we determine the half in which our number lies, we discard the other half and continue our process. We update the left and right bounds, compute another midpoint index, and repeat the process until we find the index corresponding to the target value, which is at position 4 in this case. Now let's quickly see how we can implement this binary search function in Python. First, we will do some imports. So I have written this custom utility to time the functions. So I will import that and then I will import some typing. List and optional. So we assume that input is a list of numbers or strings. And first, let's quickly write the linear search function. So in linear search, we have our arguments, which could be a list, a float, or integer, or string. And the target is also, it can be float, or int, or string. And the output is an index, so which has to be an integer or a none value. So we could also write it as optional, and the response that we expect, if it is, it should be an integer. So I won't write the docstring, and I will quickly jump into writing the code, the key part of the code. So for we run a loop over the length of the array, and for each value we check if this element is equal to our target value. If it is, we will simply return the index, otherwise we will simply return none. So I'm not writing none here because if you don't write anything, it will always return none. Okay, so that was our linear search. Now let's try to write the binary search. So I will try to write the binary search function. And again, I'll simply copy and paste from here because the input arguments will remain the same. And here again, like we'll first need to find the low and high, which is the first element and the last element of the array. Then we'll run a while loop. So as long as this condition is satisfied, we will continue our while loop we find the midpoint, which is low plus high, and the integer division of low and high, and we test the value at that index. If it matches our target value, then we return the mid value. If it does not, we check if it is smaller than the target value. If it is smaller than the target value, we update the lower bound by mid plus 1, and otherwise we'll update the upper bound and set it to mid minus 1. So if the loop completes and nothing is returned, we will assume that the element is not contained within the array, and we can simply return like this, or we could simply write it explicitly, return none. Okay, so this was binary search, and now let's run some tests. So maybe we could write some assert statements, binary search, and we could give some examples. So in our case, so that was the example, so we'll simply copy and paste here. So copy, and we want to find the number 11, and it should be at index 4, so we can say the answer should be 4. So if we run this, it works. It does not. Oh, because it should be at number 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we fixed that and it's working fine. We could try another example as well. So binary search, and this time let's give some string example. So apple, banana, pear, pineapple, strawberry, and we want to find, let's say, pineapple. Again 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's write it correctly. So, and let's see if it works. Yes, it does. So this is good. Okay, now let's try to see how fast is binary search as compared to linear search, and for that we will first try to run some example problems. For that, let's create an array of length 1 million. Okay, let's say we want to find the number 6570. Let's put it closer to the end of the array, so maybe 90. So 900,000. Okay, and let's time our function as well. So we will use the time it utility. So we say time it linear search. So we wrap these functions, and it takes the input array and the target value, and we could time it for binary search as well. Again, the input arguments are array and target, and if we run this, we could see the answer is the same, but you could see the linear search took 0.0323 seconds, whereas the binary search is still much faster. Let's try another example. We copy and paste the same code. We add one more number, and we add one more 0 here, and we run the code. Now you can see that by adding just one zero, the linear search took 0.3991 second, whereas binary search is still much faster. So that's the advantage of using binary search, and in the next few videos we will try to solve other examples as well and show you more applications of where we could use binary search. So keep watching and see you all in the next video. Thank you.